Hiya, my name is Sarosha Ingham and you're watching BUAMAG Broadcast, aka BMBC. We are a fashion, lifestyle and culture magazine, and here with me today we have a former student and someone who is very much into her fashion. Her name is Delia Gayler and we'll be discussing the reasons why sustainable fashion is such an important factor in our society. Hi Delia, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. In your opinion, what is sustainable fashion?
Sustainable fashion, it's a movement that relies on manufacturing clothes in an environmental and ethical way that completely steers away from the issues of fast fashion. So making use of fabrics, clothing, accessories that have plenty of life left in them.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Basically, taking into account both environmental and socio-economic aspects.
Exactly, because the chemical process that they have to undergo is really harmful to the farmers, as via our skin as well.
So how did we end up with fast fashion? But before you answer that, I found a fact which was actually quite daunting. I read that the production of textiles, of which clothing makes up roughly 60%, releases over 1 billion tonnes of greenhouse gases every single year, and it's responsible for 1/5 of the global water pollution, which is absolutely insane. But I mean, Delia, how did we end up with fast fashion?
Retailers found a way of mass producing items by mainly using cheap fabrics and a cheap way of labouring it, so it satisfied our whole generation. It's basically greed. A lot of people have become intolerant and impatient. It became a preferred way of shopping, really, when people just got used to the idea of just shopping at home with a click of a button. It wasn't really an option for people to just go out to shops anymore. It became just a new lazy way of living that we really need to snap out of.
I think a big factor is that consumers demand, and I feel that social media plays like a huge part because, you know, influencers maintain this luxe lifestyle, let's say, where they promote an array of fast fashion brands using a discount code. This is perceived by the average consumer, and with just one click the product is yours. Obviously, I'm not blaming all influencers. This goes for all brands that promote their products through clever marketing strategies. From an environmental perspective, it is the fast fashion brands that do the most damage. So we have to rethink about what we're consuming into. If we really need it, no longer want or wear them, then we have to think about getting rid of them sustainably and with an ethical mindset.
Yeah, and also just before buying something, consider the longevity of it. You know, how long is this going to last me? Thinking about this product for buying it rather than just making a rash decision. So I think and that comes into the name slow fashion. We need to just slow down buying.
Well, I actually do have a lot of clothes that just like sit in my wardrobe and in my drawers. I guess I have to ask myself the question, as well as everyone else has to ask themselves why you don't like them and try and create new looks from them. If that doesn't work, then think about how we can get rid of these items.
A lot of the times I'll have an item of clothing, so I would have bought it like 3 years ago, and after wearing it a few times I'll be thinking, I won't throw it away, but I can't imagine ever wearing it again. And then here I am today. This top I bought like 3-4 years ago, and I was like, oh, I can't imagine wearing it again.
Exactly. And a lot of trends come in and out.
In our generation, in terms of fashion, trends keep on repeating. For example, the 70s or 80s fashion, you can still wear that and feel great and stuff. So just keep on to those clothes, because you never know, in the future it might come back into fashion, or you might want to get used to it again.
I've seen so many Shein hauls videos, and they spend an average of like £400 in one setting, and they just pour all their clothes out onto the floor, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, there's so much stuff. What do you think about that?
It's awful. I mean, I've seen all the videos too, and it's just, what's really worrying is they have this platform where they can spread awareness about good things, or, you know, do a sustainable haul or something. And I don't think they realised the effect of a single post like that. There's so many people that are watching that video that can easily access all those clothes, and then people become lazy and comfortable, so they just buy the entire haul that they've just shown. It's just the most unethical way of being fashionable. I mean, it's really clear out there that these fast fashion brands produce clothing that are of really cheap material. That's why they're so cheap.
But what is your relationship to sustainable fashion?
My entire wardrobe is sustainable. I have a Depop account. I bid a lot on things on eBay, and when shops are open again, I do a lot of charity shopping, go to car boot sales every Sunday. It's like finding treasure because you don't know what you're going to get your hands on. Just the whole buying experience, slow fashion wise, is so much more exciting. Rather than fast fashion, being hunched over your laptop and trying to find clothes with that countdown thing, and it's just so much pressure. It just needs to all slow down.
Yeah, it's like something to do with your day as well. You mentioned Depop. I found that there have been many occasions where fast fashion brands steal unique designs from hardworking individuals and sell them for a quarter of the price. So I would say to the audience, instead of buying these designs, pay more and support those small businesses, as they are ethically produced and better quality. And not just this, but a lot of these small businesses make the clothing to your exact size, so it'll be a perfect fit, and it's usually made to order, and with that it's also reducing the waste of fabric. So overall this process is way more sustainable. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just thinking the other day, I've gone to buy things before that I really like the look of, and I'll add it to my basket. The quantity of that product wouldn't have really changed, meaning that they've just got loads in stock that they're importing from a fast fashion website. So it completely defeats the point of Depop. So it's horrible to think that these fast fashion brands are filtering onto sustainable websites and people are being fooled thinking that they're shopping sustainably when it's actually not that way at all. My advice would be to just really read the description and look out for things like in the bio. If it says takes up to 2 weeks, that clock onto that, because that is usually the buyer buying a massive bundle of things from a fast fashion website to then sell and look ethical and Depop.
In relation to the previous question, where can we find the best inspiration for sustainable fashion?
Because I used to be a film production student, I get a lot of inspiration from films, which I really enjoy, and music as well. I like listening to things, my creative mind flows and I listen to a lot of music. My favourite app would probably be Pinterest, because it gives you a chance to create a mood board as you pin things to it. You could be searching, for example, kind of a grunge style, and it could lead you down all these different routes of different styles and fabrics that you are learning about on the spot, and it's great. And it also gives you the chance to sort of process what kind of style you might want to go down before going and buying loads of things. It just lets that sink in, and you can look at your board and think, is this the style I want to go for, without going and making rash decisions and buying loads of things you're not going to get any use out of. In the charity shop, there's a lot of clothes items that people just won't even consider because they've got a snag, a stain or a hole. YouTube is a perfect place to research how to make alterations. You can get use out of that item of clothing, which once might have cost quite a lot of money or have longevity to it, but people are put off by it just because it has a little hole, which is quite silly.
There are various apps out there. One of them is called Good For You app. This scans any barcode from fruit to fashion, and it gives those brands an ethical rating from 1 to 5. So it considers factors from the workers' labour's condition and the use of animal products. So that is really handy to know. And the other great thing about the Good For You app is if the brand doesn't have a great score, then the app pairs you with similar products with a higher ethical and sustainable score. Does fashion have a new meaning to you now, Delia, that you shop sustainably?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was a bit younger, I did kind of conform, not as much as a lot of people, because I've always liked to be a bit out there with fashion, but I did conform to a lot of trends that I didn't necessarily feel like suited my body shape, my personality, my preferred style. It's not fashion if we're all so different. How can we all wear one same trend and all feel comfortable in it? It doesn't make sense. A chance to express your personality and your style and just be comfortable and have fun with it. Don't feel obliged to conform to a trend. If you want to wear something a bit different, go for it. And it's great to see when you meet people that are wearing things that are a bit different, and you can talk about where they got their clothes from and stuff. It strikes up a good conversation.
For me, I never really shop sustainably. I didn't really try, and I never sort of acknowledged it. But this year, I have acknowledged it more. So, for instance, instead of buying my clothes from fast fashion brands where it's quick and easy, I took a little bit of extra time to look on Depop, and I found this girl named Luana the Label, who designs and makes her clothing made to order. So I got about 4 or 5 items, including tops and like a really cute mint green toothpaste with a matching scrunchie. The fabric is so soft. It all came to about £100. But what drove my initiative was the fact that this style of clothing, if it was to sell in Urban Outfitters, it would be either the same price or it would be almost double. So it's kind of like I'm not really missing out on anything if I was to support this small business. What would our future look like if it was more sustainable?
It would have a positive social impact on reducing fast fashion. We would be protecting our environment from landfill. We would cut down on manufacturing process, which protects the environment from air pollution. Overall, will reduce the carbon footprint. But also quite an interesting point is this whole remodeling and repurposing clothes that still have life will encourage people to be more creative, like I said before. So I think it would better people's mental health.
I mean, it goes to show how, fast fashion has really made an effect on our lives. Finally, Delia, what do we expect from you in the near future?
So I'll always shop sustainably, and I hope, because I'm planning on going travelling, that I would have built up a really nice sustainable wardrobe with lots of unique finds from all around the world, and I'll always take pride in my wardrobe. I hope to pursue a career in freelance film editing.
Thank you so much for talking to BMBC and myself. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future.
And to you too, thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for watching BMBC. If you've enjoyed this video, please give a like and a subscribe to BUAMAG on YouTube. Stay tuned for more content coming soon on BUAMAG.com. Bye.
Bye.